What's going on, Ground Roots Outdoors? That's right, it's Aaron Morstead. And as you saw in the YouTube short, we are going to be putting the Dagger 405 together. And we're also going to be running it through the ringer to see. Now, stupid chicken. Anyway, as you guys know, I am a Killer Instinct guy. My son has a Killer Instinct crossbow. And their scopes are pretty stinking easy to set up. It literally took us 3 shots to set up both the speed ring scope on my Ripper 425 and 3-4 shots with the regular scope that comes with the Hero 380. So let's see what happens. Centerpoint Dagger 405. And I am outside right now, as you can see. Look at that bluebird skies. It's a beautiful day. So let's go. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this together. These are your limbs and strings. Take all this crap off. And we're gonna wax and treat the strings before we put it together, because this main part where the riser goes, stupid bird. Anyway, where the riser goes, we won't be able to treat that unless we take the crossbow apart and do it again. So we're gonna do it right now before we go. Now, what I use is scorpion venom products. This stuff is amazing. You should use it. Don't use standard wax. And I'm gonna save you guys the time, and you guys know how to wax strings. You sit there, put the wax on, and then you rub it in. It's that simple. So, be right back. All right, check it out. Out of all the crossbows, now I've put a few of them together for people and stuff, and out of all the crossbows, the owner's manual and how to install it was never a book. Usually it's just a little foldable piece of paper, which is crazy. So that's cool. All right, I'm done waxing the strings. Now it's ready to get put together as soon as I can find all the parts, because I opened it up in class and the parts went all over the place. So I got to find them real quick. So stay tuned. All right, y'all. Now we're going to put this together. Made sure that that little black clip right there is on there, because that is your string slide. You have to have that on before you do anything. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this together just like this. Maybe got to be smarter than the crossbow, which obviously I'm not. All right, so we'll slide it right there. Maybe. All right. When putting in important screws that keep this thing together, use Loctite Blue. It always holds tight until you're ready to pull it apart. Because if you don't, there's things that can come undone. So I learned that the hard way. So remember, Loctite Blue is your best friend when you're putting on major bolts and screws. All right, we got the stirrup. Got the limbs attached, everything's been Loctited and ready to go. Now we're gonna put the scope on, and that's when we start really having some fun. All right, so let me get the scope put on and then we'll talk about it. So here we go. Hit the button. All right, y'all. We got the scope on and got it squared, looking good. Thing's ready to go. The only thing I gotta do right now, take that crap off. Anyway, all right, so now we just need to wax the rail, put a bolt in it, and shoot it. Now, the one thing about Centerpoint, like I said in the video, is Centerpoint has 400 grain bolts. I don't use 400 grain bolts. I use about a 450 grain bolt, and I'm even looking at 500 grain bolts. So we'll see what happens, but we're going to shoot it the way it is, stock, and we may keep it that way just because of why this channel's there, is the expenses and stuff, and we try to keep it cheap. So like I said, I've spent right around $123 for it because of tax and everything. So not a bad pickup, especially if it ends up being a really good crossbow. This is the only review of the Dagger 405. There's a bunch of Dagger 390s from a couple years ago, but this will be the first video on YouTube. So let's see what happens and we'll get shooting. So hang on, we'll see in a minute. I don't use the stick, the chapstick looking crap thing. I don't like it. I use scorpion venom. All scorpion venom products. I don't use that nonsense. And so, because a little dab will do you. And I like it that way. So, let's get some lube on this dude. Come on there. There we go. Now it's getting it. It's frozen. From being out in the cold in my truck. Because I left it in my truck on accident. All right. So, there we go. Get some lube on there.
It's in dry now?
Huh? Yeah, it's starting to work. Okay, and then take your finger and rub it in. Ow! That's interesting. That's that bolt, the bolt thing that holds the bolt in place. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if I like that or not, but we'll see. So, stay tuned. It's lubed up. Now, we're gonna shoot.
You're done
Hang in there.
already?
Go ahead and hit the button, dude.
You got one more thing to do.
All right, so the one thing about the cocking rope is this comes with a sled, and I don't know if I like that too much. And from what I'm seeing, I can use a regular cocking rope, so that may happen. So just saying, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I like it or not. So stay tuned. All right, so one thing that's gonna have to happen is the cocking rope's too long. So I'm gonna have to shorten that up, which is real easy, and I can show you all how to do that. But let's get this thing cocked and let's see what happens. See if it blows up on me. Good God. The one thing I don't like about this crossbow is it's 220-pound draw. And that's heavy. So not sure I like that. But anyway, it is in cocked and it's got a safety mechanism and anti-dry fire, and we'll see how well that works. We'll get a crossbow bolt. There's the Centerpoint bolts at 400 grains with a 100 grain tip, and always odd vein down. Make sure all my kids are out in my way, because that would not be responsible parenting. Okay, nice and snug. Here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, we are at 10 yards, and I'm gonna shoot this first just to make sure my windage is good. Make sure I ain't worried about elevation right now. So let's see what happens. And at 220-pound draw, I'm kind of concerned this is gonna be loud. We'll see. Adjust that scope again. There we go. All right, let her rip. Aim 10.
Scared me.
Wow.
And you scared me.
Huh. Hair right. Inch high. We're gonna make the right move, or make it to the left, and then we're gonna shoot again, see where it hits, and then we'll back up to 20. And being an inch high, I think it's gonna be dead on at 20. And that actually wasn't that loud. Pretty cool. All right, shot 2, we made the adjustment because it's hitting right, so we move it left. Okay, and let's see what happens. Yeah, the safety on it's kind of loud. I think we can fix that though. Oh, dang.
What? He got in the same place.
No, it went further. Well, I don't know. That was weird because it just shot further right after I made the adjustment to go to the left. So we'll see what happens. So shot 3, we made another move to the left. Let's see what happens. And we'll go from there. Hopefully it fixed the problem. Dude, it's still hitting right. What the crap?
That thing is weird.
All right, y'all, let's go take a walk. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I'm dealing with. So hang on, let me spin you. All right, so these are my shots. It's good grouping, but I'm aiming here and it's hitting here, so that's not good. And I've made a bunch of adjustments to move it to the right, or to move it to the left, and it's still moving right. So, and this is only from 10 yards. Let's see what happens. So I'm already not too happy because should not be, I mean, the adjustments I made, this thing should have been hitting already, but grouping's nice. So here we go. Ah, there we go.
You got it.
There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot another one, and if it hits to the left, which it's literally like ½ inch left, I'll bring it back to the right just a little bit and we'll get it going. So hang in there. All right, here we go. 20 yards. We finally got the windage situated. Now let's see if we can get the elevation. So we're just a hair left, but perfect elevation. That's what I'm talking about. And we're gonna do this right here. Oh, crap. I'll put that elevation back on there, cap on there. All right, so number 2, let's see what happens. That's it. I love it when a plan comes together. I'm gonna shoot one more, and then I'm gonna shoot a heavier one just to kind of get an idea of which one I want to shoot. I want to aim at a different spot. That way I don't break any bolts. Here we go. And I will say, the more I shoot this thing, the more the safety gets a little more, it's not as stiff, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. So anyway, please don't do that to that bolt.
I don't know how to get got in there.
Holy crap, what was that? That was weird.
That went up.
Well, I meant to shoot up, but dude, it hit way right. I don't know what. Oh, it's the vanes. Trying to pull them out of that dang target, they're twisting the vanes up, and I'm gonna have to get that fixed. Hang on, I'm gonna shoot a heavier bolt. Let's see what happens. Bloodsport Witness at 400 and like 35, 450 grains. I can't remember what it is, but if I put my lighted knock on it, then I know it's 450. So we're gonna shoot this one and see what happens. Because that other one, I think, like I said, the vanes were kind of twisted on it, and so it didn't fly right. But we'll walk and see it. Here we go. Let me shoot this heavy one and see what happens. Oh. Yep, it was the vanes. Let's go take a look. So we're taking a 20-yard walk, as you can see, 20. So we're gonna take the 20-yard walk. Man, it's a beautiful day. We've been ice and snow and cold and yeah, ridiculous. So here we go. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, this one took a flyer. It went that way. And as you can see, it's because the vanes are all kind of funkified because it's trying to rip this thing out of the target. Look at that, perfect. Not too bad. This was the first shot. Second shot, after the adjustment, third shot went way off because the vanes are all crooked. And then this is the heavy one, and I'm liking it. I'm ready. I'm gonna play with this thing some more. But we'll do the final thoughts on this thing here in a minute. We're gonna get everything put up and cleaned up, and I'll let you know what I'm thinking. So, all right, y'all. So, Centerpoint Dagger 405. What are my first thoughts on it and impressions and stuff on it? I'm very, very impressed. I thought, being that it was a 220-pound draw, I thought it was going to be awful loud. It's actually no more louder than my Ripper 425. The scope on that thing is pretty stinking clear, which I'm very impressed on for being just a cheap come with the bow scope. You know, will I buy another scope for it? Don't know. We'll see. But as of right now, I'm just going to keep it stock. I am, however, going to probably shoot the heavier bolt, my Bloodsport Witness, just because after I took a couple other shots with it without, you know, with the camera off. I should have just done it with the camera on. But yeah, it likes the heavier bolt. It'll put the speeds on the crossbow. It'll probably drop it down. I'm going to say that it shoots about 495 feet per second with the 400 grain bolts. I'm going to say it'll probably be running right around 385. I'm going to put it through a chronograph, which is one thing that I'm actually going to be picking up this year, is a chronograph, and we'll run some tests with speeds on it. I don't ever take it for what people say. Oh, it's going to be 405. Nah, no bow is what the IBO or ATA says it is. They're always going to be slower than what they're advertised. I think it's crap that manufacturers can't just put the true feet per second on it. I think more people would buy bows based on the actual feet per second, not the rated feet per second, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm looking forward to putting this thing through the ringers and see what it can really do. I want to get out there and stretch it out and see how it does on a 30, 40, and 50 yard shot now that we've got it dialed up. You know, and next time you see me shooting this thing on part 2, the distance shooting, it'll be out at the land, at the property. So here we go. So if you like what you see, hit your thumbs up. If you like what you see and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and a little bell for notification. That way you get all my videos. I appreciate you guys. We are at 827 subscribers. You guys are awesome. I got a little surprise coming in the next video, and hopefully it'll be ready, and I will start showing it off a little bit. So it'll be pretty cool. Anyway, and possibly one of you lucky subscribers will receive a gift from me here pretty soon. We'll just say what it is. I've got some merch getting ready to come out, and we got some sweatshirts and stuff. So if it actually looks good and I like what the final product is, it'll be starting to move. So, and like I said, one of you lucky subscribers will get a sweatshirt or a hat or something from me. So thanks for sticking with me. Hope to see you next time.